Hey Ross, how you doing, buddy? This is that Pulser that I'm gonna be sending you, and I just want to go through how it works. I got the cable for it. It's just an RCA. You have to forgive my my video here, and it goes to a quarter inch keyline jack. Now I know on my Mark V, I don't know how it's going to be on your 7300, but if I put this all the way in the radio, it's gonna make it short. It's gonna constant key the radio. So I'll show you. Put it all the way in. Hear that? So I just pull it out a little bit. I just pull it out one click. So I probably don't have quite the right cable or something. I don't know, but you know how it's grounds out. So that's out just a little bit, not much. You're gonna put your radio in the CW mode, and you're gonna turn your Vox on. You gotta have the Vox on. I'll take my Vox is off right now, and if I hit this button right here, that's the carrier button, the tune button, and you see I got nothing coming out on my output power. It's making noise, but it's not my output power. But if I take that Vox and I push it in, and there you go, you get output power. So if you're not getting it, make sure your Vox is on. And it's got different settings on it, and I don't know what would be working best for you, but this is, you can probably hear that go up. I don't know, I got them set about 12 o'clock, I guess, right around there, 11:30 on both of them. You can adjust that around, but they say to get your output power out on your peak meter. This is a tune meter, and then my Night Viking down there is about 55 as well. So, but well, you don't know what you're going to be at. I always start off real low. So I got this going into a dummy load right now. I've got this tuned for my antenna that I had it tuned. So I'm just going to go. I don't know if we can get this meter here. You probably can't see that too well, but we'll use the LP up here, but you'll be using your diode meter. So that's that button I was talking about. I'm going to initialize my amplifier, and then like you do, you know, you're just going to move your plate and your load. There we go, going up, going up, going up, going up. So I adjust my plate, my load, and then you can just boom, take that off. And so that's like the 200, you know. So I'm going to kick it back into you're going to be putting your amp in standby, and we'll up the power a little bit more. Now I got my rough tune. Maybe I'll go to like 35 watts, and we'll engage the amplifier. Now you won't be getting these numbers. This is my AL82, so it's got a little bit. This is 35 watts on that. That video I sent you, Tom does 100 watts right out to start off with, and I never do that. So that's 35 watts, but you're getting the idea of it, you know. I'm gonna take that out. I'll go up a little bit more. I'll go up to 60 watts out. Take that off. Gauge my amplifier again. You're just going to be hitting your standby switch on and off. And here's that button. That's the pulse tune button. There's also a constant carrier button over here if you want to use that. But this one is the pulser button. And adjust this baby again. It's 12. And then you just adjust it up until you hit your max power, you know. And I'll show you my grid current meter down here. You see it's real low. It's over here, so I'm not hurting those tubes at all, because they'll take up to 300 mils of grid current, which is over here. And my plate is also really low. My plate is only maybe, what is it, between 250 and 500, so 375, something like that. And I mean, they'll take up to 750 on the plate. So you're not pushing these tubes at all, and you're getting max power out. So I think this will do you pretty good, and if you keep the settings, they work for me there anyway. That's where the white knobs are. One's at 12 and one's at 11:30, but probably somewhere straight up and down. And because you don't want to go in too slow and you don't want it going too fast. Now that's this. So I'm gonna take this out, take that off, and I want to compare it to my. I got my audio pulser hooked in here. I want to compare it to my audio pulser. I haven't done this yet. So for my audio pulser, I need it in lower sideband because it's an audio pulse, not a carrier pulse. And you leave the Vox on. Remember, you got to have the Vox on. That's going to be wherever that is on your 7300. On my Mark V, it's right there. So, and with the audio pulser, I have to turn the mic gain down. So we're gonna turn the audio pulser on, and see, you bring the mic gain up until you just start getting max power, because that's gonna, with an audio pulser, that's gonna be easy on the tubes too. So I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna see, and you see that's about the same power output, Russell, right there. Let me see if I can tweak it anymore. Not really. So that pulsar is going to do you a pretty good job. And you see the audio pulsar, it's a little bit better on the grid because the grid's way down. That grid's hardly off the pin, but I'm making my full power out. You know, I could put this up to 2,000 watts if I want to. These two 3500Zs, you know, you can get 1,000 out of one. You definitely get 2,000 out of two. But that's the basics. You can take this, and I'll send you this, and I'll send you the cable. And remember, if it's keyed when you stick that jack all the way in, I'm going to go ahead and disengage my amplifier here. If that's keyed all the way in, then you just back it out of here until you don't hear it anymore, and you want that keying. And when you key your amplifier, it should be a nice smooth. It shouldn't jump. It shouldn't go click, 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 click. None of that stuff. So let's go back to CW. I got the Vox on. Doesn't matter where the mic gain is on CW because it's a carrier. And we'll engage the amplifier. And there you go. These are 1,400 watts. And your EL80B is very similar to this. It's got one less tube in it, that's all. So that should do you pretty good. I'll get this in a box and head it up your way. There's one 9-volt battery inside this thing. So if it goes dead, it's just a 9-volt. There's just a screw, Phillips head on one on each side. You take it off and just replace the 9-volt battery. But I would imagine 9-volt battery will last you a good long time in this. And you can set here and you can pulse that right away, and it doesn't bother it. It doesn't bother that at all because your grid current's so low. As you can see, it's a little higher with that, but it's really, that's about, what is it, 80 mils. That's 80 mils of grid current. And they can take up to 300 max out, you know. So it's very, very easy, and you can take your time, you can tune it up, and just start low, and then write all your settings down. And once you get your settings down, then you don't have to start at 5 watts anymore. You can start wherever you want to talk out, as long as your SWR is good. So make sure your SWR is good in standby mode on your amp, and then click your amp on and do a quick fine tune. And you shouldn't have this in very long. You might have a CW key in your radio now, so that'd be the only thing. You'd have to swap the CW lines back and forth, but that's what it is. Here's the video, and I'll try to get this off to you within a day or two. All right, Russell, 7-3, and hope to hear on you on the air soon. Take care.